always difficult when a new manager comes in. He's got his own way or methods and things that you want to get across. But what I've tried to do is actually simplify that and then not overbear them with too much too soon.
Garry, is that almost a perfect start for you?
Yeah, of course. Obviously very pleased with the 3 points, the clean sheet. Like any new manager, starting your first game, you want to try and get off to the best possible start. And of course, 3 points and a clean sheet, it goes a long way to that.
Pretty good substitution as well. Sam went on coming on, that scored for the club for a couple of years, and he scores for you within about 10 or 12 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't always work like that, but wish it did. But no, fantastic. Very pleased for the players and for Sam himself to get his goal. And it's been a busy week, a hectic week, but a really positive week for myself. I've been welcomed to the club by all the fans and a lot of goodwill and support from them, and then within it, Lee Bullen and the staff that have been here, holding that fort, and they've been really supportive, and the players themselves, the response I've had this week. Always difficult when a new manager comes in. He's got his own way or methods and things that you want to get across. But what I've tried to do is actually simplify that and then not overbear them with too much too soon. And that'll be a process in the coming weeks and months. But try to give them clarity, really. That's how I work. Clarity in how we're going to approach certain things, home and away, or whatever we may do, and how we play, and make it very simple where they know their roles on the pitch. And I thought for a first attempt, I thought they did it very well today. I thought they were it was great to see the attitude without the ball, that intensity and the attitude towards defending. And then, of course, offensively, we know we do have quality. I think overall we had the best chances in the game. We didn't really suffer too much on our goal, and we scored goals at the right times and good times, and then it opened up towards the end where we maybe could have got one or two more. But listen, for a first attempt, I was pleased with it.
When you see that sort of performance against a team who were in the Premier League last year, what does it make you think you're capable of achieving here?
No, look, I think the nucleus of this squad's been together for quite a few years now, and they've done well this summer. They've added a few younger, dynamic, which I think the squad needed. But there's a big nucleus here that have been here for last 3 or 4 years, and they had a fantastic last 3 or 4 years ago. They had a fantastic time in terms of getting to the playoffs, very close to getting to the Premier League, and then maybe the last 2 years for whatever reasons haven't reached those levels. And I said, it's about them understanding that when people want to doubt you in those moments and doubt whether you can get back to those levels, is where you need to show yourself, that personality and that belief, and that's what I'm going to try and do, and help those younger ones integrate with the senior lads. We know we have the quality. It's about trying to make sure that their belief is there, and understanding where we need to, in a league that demands everything that you've got in terms of physically, and then of course a way of methods of play and being adaptable in situation, but very, very clear. That's what we started this week. By no means is it anywhere near where we need it to be, but for a first attempt today, I thought defensively and offensively was very pleasing.
Just on that subject, Garry, Barry Bannon was talking after the game about you could be the missing link, not in terms of
on the field.
But I think what he's trying to talk about is why it hasn't happened for the last 2 years. Why we not realise that potential, that now there's a manager who can help us realise the potential we all know that's in that squad, especially up front.
Yeah, look, obviously I don't know what's gone before, and it's for whatever reasons. But for whatever reasons it is, they maybe haven't reached, like we said, the levels that these type of players should reach. But again, you're in a league where it's very difficult to do that week in, week out. You're playing against many, many teams that all believe the same. 15, 16 teams at the start of each season believe that they can get to the playoffs and have a chance of promotion, and that's a reality as well. But this squad, the nucleus of the squad, have done it before. They have the quality to do it, but maybe for the last couple of years they haven't believed in themselves enough to go on and try and do it. It's for me as a manager, not just me, but like the staff, but really for themselves, make them see how they can do that. And we know they're good players and we know what they can do, but it's about doing it regularly, consistency. Week in, week out, game after game after game after game. That mentality is huge, and if I can help them in that sense, along with the younger, dynamic players that haven't been through that probably experience that they've had, those senior ones over the last 3 or 4 years, if we can put that together and gel that with the type of backing that you saw today and what will be at Hillsborough, that's obviously going to help us have a positive season.
Garry, how important was it to get that first goal to quieten that early, to quieten the crowd? Because obviously, Huddersfield have got a new manager as well, so they would have a little coming into this game.
Yeah, I think the players deserve a lot of credit. Part of the build up to this game. And this is a very difficult game. Like you said, they're a new manager for them. You're playing away from home. You're going to be playing against a crowd that are going to be very up for it and very vocal in those early stages. I thought we did very well in the first 20-25 minutes in terms of doing what you said there, keeping them quiet and keeping them at bay. And even though they had possession where we wanted them to have a possession, never felt too much under threat, and we were creating the best chances. And as an away game, we did that very well. And then, of course, as the game opened up, we managed to create more chances and score the goals at the good times. And as I said, Kieran made 1 or 2 good saves, which is important. But overall, what you'd expect from an away team to only suffer a couple of shots really with any meaning on your goal it shows that you did a good performance. And to get the 3 points and a clean sheet is a pleasing start.
And goals, 2 crosses, 2 headers. Is that playing to your strengths?
Yeah, of course, it's part of the strength. I still think there's a long way to go offensively. That was probably one part of our game today where we could have been better with, especially with the ball. But we know that in that final third, we're going to have a few different ways of scoring goals. But crossing, of course, is going to be a big part. It's a big part of this league anyway. So crossing, there were fantastic crosses, quality, good runs in the box with movement and good finishes. And that's important when you're in those situations. So, there's a lot of work to go. But, very pleasing in terms of, as I said, to get the win. A clean sheet, 3 points is the most important.
Garry, you said when you came in that we sort of settled on a system and you had to the squad and everything. How much closer are you after today? How much that happened?
In terms of, sorry,
settling on a system and
no, we'll have a couple of formations. I think it's important to be adaptable and unpredictable, but the way that I'll do it is our principles will be exactly the same. So in terms of how we defend and the attitude and the roles within that, and then how we attack, no matter what formation you use, the principles are the most important. If you're changing formations and the principles change, that's when you get confusion. Whereas if the principles remain the same no matter what formation you use, big believer in, we can all write down a formation now and put it out on the pitch, and the key to it is actually the principles you follow in it. The same principles defensively, the same principles offensively have to be in both. So it doesn't really affect what a formation does. So that's what we do. But you need those formations to help you in different areas and certain games that you need to do. So that's how we work. So it won't just be what we saw today. It'll be other things, but the principles will be exactly the same. If that makes sense. If I just confused you there.
No.
And there's me talking about clarity.
Just about that. Another goal for Steve Fletcher as well.
Yeah. Of course, very important. They all are. I said it's a squad game. They're going to be needed, all of them, and it's important that everyone's ready. And the guys that score the goals, it's great when your strikers score goals because that gives them extra confidence. So Fletcher and obviously Sam that come on and scored his goal, gives them that extra confidence to go into next week to work hard. But there's a long way to go. So great that strikers got their 2 goals today, but we've got other strikers. Saw Anati come on, thought he was a handful. He was fantastic. He did a bit of a dribble at one point and thought he was going to be clean through. But all the lads, all I can say is this week they've given me a great attitude and response to what I'm asking them to do. And like I said, there's a lot more work to go. There's a lot more improvement to go. But time's not the easiest, so we're going to have to work that in and when we can. But every day is about that commitment to it. So they've done that so far. We need to continue that way.
You said about getting your message across. It looked like you gave a piece of paper in the first half to King Harris. Is that just a case of you getting something?
That was just to clear up set pieces. Like we said, it's very difficult. Obviously Danny's coming here as a new manager, so you can do a little bit of guesswork on what you think they might be. And set piece wise, we did I had my ideas of what might happen with them, but then there's also the unpredictability of something new and something different. So it was just a piece to make sure that the markers that we had and we're picking up the right men. And sometimes it's hard to predict with a new manager which players are going to go in to certain positions. So it was just like making sure that was all clarified so the players knew. So that was a set piece of paper. It's probably floating about there. They didn't bother reading it, I imagine.
He to chew it up and spat it out.
Did he? Just getting energy. He thought it was an energy bar then or something. Yeah, cheers guys.